But yeah, that's it. Chelsea 3, West Ham 2. Now, first half, as I was saying, absolutely abysmal. That first half was probably the worst first half I've seen since Leeds. Like, we were that bad. We couldn't keep hold of the ball. We just looked lazy. We just couldn't pass properly. We kept losing the ball. Possession, when you look at the turnover of possession, ridiculous. And it didn't help that there were so many players that were having absolute howlers, like absolutely shocking games. Garnacho, my God, I can't defend him no more. I've seen enough now that I cannot defend this player no more. You know, I've defended him since he signed, telling people, give him a chance. He's a good player. He's been at a club that's been toxic. He's been at a club where they've changed managers and he hasn't really had any coaching. But what I saw today was absolutely pathetic. If it was me and I'm the manager, he's going to the under-21s. He was that bad. The amount of possession, turnover. I saw a stat, he had 11 turnovers and it was like 30 minutes into the game. Defensively, very poor. Played a role in the first goal. Soft on the ball, too easy. Goes to Bowen and he just whips it in back post and it goes straight in. The run from the striker puts off Sanchez and it goes straight into the back post. It's 1-0. It was almost as if Garnacho knew, listen, I've played with this guy. I am not beating him one-on-one. And he was so scared. He was so scared to go up against Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Yeah. Nah, he's not here today. I might have to drop him a text, say, where you gone? Where you gone? Where's this guy gone as well? Where's Georgie Green gone, mate? Where's Georgie Green? Not come on you irons now, are you? That's what I'm saying. They all disappear. They all disappear. I thought he'd have come back in here. There's me saying, look, we've been horrendous. You know, I'm pretty honest with it. But these people disappear. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Garnacho today, I just thought was absolutely shocking. So bad. Badiashile, I've seen enough. You know, I thought there was a little bit of hope when he come back from his injury and we saw him play against Benfica and we saw him the game after that. And I thought, you know what? He's actually starting to perform. He had 2 good games. And since then, shocking. Lack of quality on the ball. He's just not good enough. Let's just be honest. Badiashile is not a Premier League player. He should go back to Ligue 1. You know, the window's still open. We've called back Anselmino. We're going to call back Sarr. If we sign that Jeremy Jacquet today, or it is today because it's the end of the window tonight, isn't it? Or is it tomorrow morning? Don't know. But if we sign them, then we got to offload one of them. Badiashile, you're out the door, in my opinion. I don't know what, you know, I'm looking at Achampong and I'm thinking, if it was me, I'm going, I've got to go. I've got to leave this club. What can I do to get a game at this club when I'm seeing performances like that from Badiashile? Shocking, all over the place. He's passing awful. There was one point when he had a simple pass to play to Rob Sanchez and he dinks it in the sky for him. So then Rob Sanchez has to try and adjust and do something. Now, if that had gone in because of a mistake from Rob Sanchez, majority of his fan base would be blaming Rob Sanchez. And that's a real shame because they're not looking at Badiashile going, mate, that's a simple pass. You're a professional footballer. You're on like 60, 70 grand a week. And you cannot pass to your goalkeeper who's 3-4 yards out away from you. Honestly, I'm done with Badiashile. Bomb squad him. Just get him gone. I don't like the way that Chelsea treat players, but fuck him off because he's fucking awful. Absolutely awful. Gittins. When he went down, I'll be honest with you, I put it in my group chat, please stay down, you do us a favour. Another player I've seen enough of. I've seen enough to know he's not good enough. I've seen enough. Yes, okay, I used it in the live stream that it took certain players at least 1 year to really find their form in this team, like your Cucurellas, like your Caicedos, like who else was it that I said? Cucurella, Caicedo. There was someone else I can't remember. Rob Sanchez, even. Rob Sanchez took a while to really embed in the team. Now Rob Sanchez, to be fair, I thought Rob Sanchez played well today, made a fair few decent saves. It could have been 3 or 4-0 at one point with West Ham. I don't think people understand. If you didn't watch that first half, just believe that we were getting battered. It was not good at all. It was way too easy. Down that right-hand side, Bowen was having as much fun as possible. I even tweeted, it was the worst half I've seen since Leeds. It was honestly that bad. It was so shit, is the word for it. So bad. Typical fashion, Bowen down the right-hand side, whips the ball in, bounces around in the box. There's no one there really attacking the ball, getting rid of it. Somerville smashes it in. And that's 2 on-informed players for West Ham who have now got goals. And I'm looking at it going, do you know what? Like the lineup to begin with, this is what annoys me. We've got João Pedro, he's in form. He just scored 2 goals against Napoli and we rest him. Now, I was defending Rosenior in the first, before the game, saying, look, I get it. We've just played the Champions League. We need to make sure that we rest in players. We don't want to overload them and all this. But 7 changes. Now, I've got to kind of take back what I said about I understand it. Because after seeing that, I wouldn't do it again. I would not do that again. There would only be a couple, and this is what hopefully, this is what Rosenior learns from it. Because that many changes, now I've seen a lot of people's reaction online. A lot of people are saying there's no way that he's picking the team. There's no way that we see that many changes from one manager to another manager. There's just no way. So even I'm thinking there must be some influence from above that's telling them you need to play these players, you need to rotate these players. I think when it comes to picking the team, they sit there, they'll all come together, they'll all go into a room, they'll have a little match meeting. And I reckon they're in there. I reckon the sporting directors are there and they're saying, right, we need to play this player, rest this one. Medical team might be there as well, going, yeah, maybe rest this player, do this one. Rather than just, and then then what he's left with, Rosenior, he then gets to pick his team. Because, 7 changes, wild. I'm looking. I was saying before the game, look, Bowen and Somerville both on form. They pop up with a goal. We've got João Pedro on form. When we bring him on, he pops up with a goal. So hopefully this is something Rosenior learns from. And the next time we have a midweek game, which is Wednesday against Arsenal, which, if we play like we did, like I said, if we play like we did in the first half against Arsenal, we're getting double figures, mate. I'm not even joking. If we play like that in the first half against Arsenal, 5 will be the minimum amount of goals that go in, because it was seriously that bad. It was shocking. However, we come out in the second half. Before we go into the second half, there wasn't a single player on that pitch that I could have highlighted and said they played well. Not a single one. It was all West Ham. Come out in the second half, and we've made changes. I think what was it? Was it 3 changes to begin with? I'm just going to double check because my memory sometimes fails me when I need it the most. So second half, we bring on Cucurella for Hato, João Pedro for Garnacho, Fofana for Badiashile. So that meant that João Pedro dropped in the 10. Neto went out on the left. Palmer went out on the right. Cucurella filled in at left back. And that allowed Cucurella to just bomb forward constantly. We'll talk about that in a minute. But again, I didn't think we started very well. I thought West Ham picked up where they left off. They caused us problems. They had a very early chance to score. Sanchez making a save. It was a free kick. They just played the ball passed it straight. Fofana taking long to react, and they were through on goal and they shot and it was saved, fortunately. Then it got to about 55 minutes and for some reason we decided to wake up. Pedro Neto puts in a ball. Was it Pedro Neto or was it Cucurella? I think it was Pedro Neto, whips in a pass and Delap flicks it on and it just goes past the back post. Shot wide, but that was the best thing we'd done up until that point. 55 minutes it took us to really get going and do something. Wasn't really the first half. We had, I can only remember one shot on target. The free kick from Palmer? 55 minutes, shot off target, but probably the best thing we'd done all game. Then we woke up. Then the pressure was relentless. And it was just non-stop after that. We were just hounding their goal. Well, not necessarily their goal, but that phase on the pitch, their box, is probably a better answer. Ball comes in, whipped into the back post from Neto. Neto does well, whips it into the back post. Gusto heads it down. Delap hits the bar. Defender done well there. If you watch the replay, done well to try and head that away. Hits the bar. No, sorry. What am I talking about? That's the second. That's the second goal. Gusto heads it. What was it? Oh, how did Pedro score? João Pedro. I know it was a header. No, that's it. Wesley Fofana. Fucking mate. See what I'm saying? Wesley Fofana driving with the ball through the middle. Free space to do whatever he wants. Whips the ball into the back post. João Pedro. Great header. Watch the replay. That header, difficult. Heads it into the back of the goal and he scores again. That's, his goal scoring form at the moment, very, very good. And that's what we need. I said it before the game when he scored against Napoli. We need to see that, the clinicalness from him. And today he's continued that. I was buzzing with that. Well, I wasn't buzzing. By this point, I'm fuming with the whole game. If you watch the live stream, I was fuming. Absolutely fuming by that first half. So 2-1, yay, woo, 2-1. But we carry on. We carry on with the relentless football. And West Ham, their play is stopped. We're obviously applying a lot of pressure. We've brought on enough quality now to cause them problems. The ones before that, no good. Not good. But thankfully, Rosenior saw who the problems were. Just like everybody else said. These same players that came off the pitch, we were saying, they're having problems. And he shored up that left-hand side. After that, Bowen didn't really have anything. Couldn't really do anything after that. And it made a huge, huge difference. Then the second goal comes in. Neto does very well. And this is what I was describing for the first goal. Ball whipped into the back post. Gusto heads it across goal. Delap heads it, hits the bar. Like I said, defender done very well in that situation. Ball bounces down. First player to react is Cucurella, who does a diving header. It's 2-2. And we're rolling now. We're rolling. But it's not over yet. It's not over yet because even though the pressure was on for West Ham and we were continually working the ball into the box, we were struggling to get the ball in the back of the net. And they did have an opportunity towards the end with Todibo. The ball bounced in his favour. He took a swipe at it and hit the post. And it went out for a goal kick. But then after that, again, we bring on Reece James. And then Reece James starts getting involved in whipping the balls into the box. A little bit more quality on the ball. Don't get me wrong, I think Gusto played all right today. But, Reece James is Reece James. And then we see the ball get played into... this is what I'm saying. I keep forgetting how the goals went in. The ball was played through to João Pedro. He was through on goal. I can't remember who played the ball. It might have been Fofana again, I can't remember. I need to double check and rewatch it. Part of me thinks it was Palmer, actually. Played in João Pedro. Now I think João Pedro is going to swipe it in and just shoot. He doesn't. He lays it off across the goal. Enzo Fernandez with the late run into the box finishes it 3-2. That's the game done, man. That was like 92nd minute. I'm very happy, but I still just cannot get over that first half, if I'm being completely honest with you. That first half, alarm bells. Alarm bells. Now, the fact that he rectified all them issues, just like he did over at Napoli, shows that we've got a manager that can see problems, can make changes, and have an impact on the team. I haven't seen that with Enzo Maresca. Honestly, if that was Enzo Maresca, that game was done at 2-0. So fair play to the manager for seeing the mistakes, for seeing it. Hopefully, he now looks at that team and goes, you know what? There's some players here that I can't rely on. You know what? Making too many changes for the next game has messed up my play. But it's good signs that, 2 games on the trot that we've had to do this. I mean, that's you could look at that either way. You could look at that going, well, we've had to come from behind and win the game, and we've made it hard for ourselves. 2 games on the trot. You could look at it like that. You could look at it as in, 2 games on the trot. We've made like errors in our lineups, in how the players were performing, but the manager's seen the problems and he's made changes, and we've won the game because of it. I'd like to think of that one before, the latter, because, what's the point of being negative about it all? We've got the 3 points at the end of the day, and it was a well-fought win. Second half, we were a lot better. Like, I'm talking, it was so bad in that first half, we were about 10 times better in that second half. That's how much better we were. Palmer at the end had a chance to get a fourth. Neto doing really well, wiggling in and out of players, squared the ball to him, and he skied it, unfortunately. And then the ball goes down the other end, and there's a little bit of a to-do with Cucurella and Traore. And João Pedro goes up to him and pushes him, and I think when he realised who it was, he was like, nah, actually, I ain't on it. Why did I do that? But then Todibo comes over and grabs him by the throat. Don't know who Todibo thinks he is. I don't know, who the fuck does this guy think he is, honestly? If you saw him on the pitch and he's trying to screw face and look at him like, I'm going to do you, fucking moron. I don't know who this guy thinks he is. He gets a red card for it. But Mavropanos, you cheeky so-and-so, with a slap on Palmer as well. Why ain't that been reviewed to VAR and a second red card been given out? No idea, but that should have been another red card. It should have been 2 red cards in that phase of play, in that commotion. Not given. Maybe that will get reviewed after. Maybe we'll get a match ban up, 3 match ban after that. That'll be both of their centre backs out, and then we'll see them get relegated. I actually don't want to see West Ham get relegated, but whatever, Took the corner was cleared. That's it. Game, set, and match. 3 points in the bag. And we've got Arsenal next. Now, don't know what to make of it now, if I'm honest with you. Am I confident about it on Wednesday? Don't know. I really don't know. The last 2 games have been a little bit, and we've had to make in-game changes to try and grind out the win. We need to be on it from minute 1. We need to score the first goal. Chelsea need to score the first goal on Wednesday to really put the pressure on. Arsenal don't normally do well under pressure, whereas we normally do. Pressure situations like PSG, where we're the underdogs and we don't look like we're going to win. Pressure situation like Barcelona, where we look like the underdogs and we don't look like we're going to win. Pressure situation on Wednesday, where we've gone behind in a crucial Champions League game and we managed to grind out a win. So, I've got belief in the team that we can probably go there and do something. But after seeing that first half, I'm thinking a little bit like, I really don't know how this is going to go. The only way we'll find out is how we turn up on the day, but we've got to be there quickly, and we've got to be, scoring that first goal and putting them under pressure. We've got our best players back. Palmer, played 90 minutes today, so this is the thing. I can imagine he's going to rest him now. After coming back from an injury that's been causing him all sorts of grief. Had an appearance against Napoli, then plays a full 90 today. I can't see him playing. Can't see him starting. So I'd imagine Esteval will be back. He had family problems today. But look, we got the 3 points in the end. Shout out the players that came on the pitch. I thought they did really well. João Pedro, Cucurella, I thought they had a good impact. Thought Fofana done well today. And I was hounding Cucurella before the game, saying he had a stinker against Napoli, and I think he's made up for it today with a good performance and a goal. So sometimes you need that little bit of kick up at the arse, sit on the bench for your performance. Hopefully that's what it was, rather than just resting. And it was more of a case of like, no, you know what, you didn't play well against Napoli. You're going to start on the bench. Let's give Hato a goal. And, maybe that's what it is. But listen, Wednesday, Carabao Cup semi-final. We're 3-2 down. We've got to score the first goal and put the pressure on Arsenal. There's no away goals anymore. So it has to be a 2-0 win or a 3-1 win or whatever. We just got to win the game. It can't be 1-0. That's all I know. Otherwise, it's going to penalties. So we just need to turn up on the day, get an early goal, set pace, put pressure on them. I mean, they got a very good win today against Leeds. A very good, strong performance against Leeds. A Leeds team that are very difficult to play against, especially at Ellen Road. Obviously, we felt the pain of that. But they won 4-0 today and made it look easy. First 15, 20 minutes, I thought, all right, Leeds might be in this. But as soon as they got the goal, bang, they had nothing. Nullified them completely. So we've got to be on it on Wednesday. We've got to be on it. Now, from what I'm seeing from Rosenior so far, got no complaints. I just hope he can look at what he's seen so far and learn from it. Realise, like I said, there's certain players that he can't rely on. There's certain things he cannot do. But I like how he's reacted to things. I like how he's changed things when he's needed to. I like how he's spotted the problems and gone, no, you know what? Change it. Do this. Put that player on. And at the right times as well, So far, I'm okay with him at the moment. I think it's too early to make a full judgment on him, but I like what I see so far. And I'll judge it game by game anyway. I did the same with Enzo Maresca. I'll judge it game by game. If I think he's fucking up, I'll tell everyone I think he's messing up. But you know what? He's doing all right so far. Anyway, that's me. There's 2,050 people in here at the moment. So make sure you head over to the YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like the video. That will be very much appreciated. It does help. And if you're following me on X, if you're watching through X, follow me. I will follow back. And stay tuned for some uploads. I'm going to clip this video. That will be the match reaction. And stay tuned. See you on Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in. In a bit. Up the CHELS. 3-2 win.